Good morning. Just gotten off the phone with Grant and I'm feeling a billion times better than yesterday, so figured it was probably a good time to make a video. It is 7:50 in the morning on the 1st of August 2022. I've been up since the last hour. Grant called me on his walk back from work. So yeah, just past 6:45ish, I think. So I was explaining to him about yesterday and how it all fell apart. So I'm almost positive that it was a combination of not staying up when I woke up, because I have been going to bed early, which, as we know, I love, and then having the vape. So yesterday I actually did watch my video back after I posted it, because those type of videos, I tend to think it's probably wise to watch them back, not because I plan on editing them or removing them or anything like that, because that would completely nullify the point of my website and my channel. Excuse me. But I don't know, it was just one of those days, and I was talking to Faith, and she and I were having a conversation, and I said to her, look, I've just literally made a video. I've been crying my eyes out. It's uploading. I'm like, these sort of videos are really intense. And again, I said to her, these are why I couldn't tell all of you first, no matter how much I wanted to. But we're having a conversation, obviously, about the fact that we sometimes just need to let shit out, and stress does make all of my conditions that I live with very, very harder to deal with. They just, through the Richter scale, just too hard. And like I said, I was talking to Grant, and it was just a combination of things. So not staying up when I wanted to, going back to bed and resetting my alarm for half an hour, which turned into 2 hours, which has been bugging me basically for as many years as I can honestly remember, so you would think I would learn the lesson. And then again, like I said, because I've been a smoker off and on since I was 14 and I'm now 36, like, I'm very much an on-again, off-again smoker. People always ask me, have you read the Alan Carr's book to quitting smoking? I have, yes. And for all of you out there who are regular smokers, who smoke every day, however much you smoke, that book, fantastic. Unfortunately, if you're like me and you're an on-again, off-again smoker, you just flip back to the very last page in the book, and it basically tells you this won't work if you're on-again, off-again. I really feel like that should have been at the beginning, but maybe it's to get us through the end. Anyway, so I quit smoking, like actual cigarettes. Well, I technically quit cigarette smoking before I quit ice, ironically enough. Then I would smoke cigarettes just when I was smoking weed or having a drink. Then I had my 2018 sober year challenge to myself, which included no cigarettes, no drugs, no alcohol, no weed, no nothing. And I do separate weed from drugs because, to me, they're very different. So I know I can do it. University stresses me the fuck out. Like, it really stresses me out. And I think a big part of why I find it so much bigger and overwhelming and mind-fucking than I originally thought I would is because I truly just didn't know that being in a structured environment, say for example a school environment or a work environment, or as I said to Grant, like, I was a corporate travel consultant for years before all this shit happened and I had to go on disability, and I paid a lot of money. So the course, $7,500 for a 6-month course in Melbourne, but it wasn't online. It was 8:30 to 4:30 Monday to Friday every week for 6 months. And I aced it. I've got the transcripts. I've got the grades. I mean, you can scroll through my grades, and my lowest grade is, no word of a lie, 97%. So I just really wasn't expecting how fucking much overwhelm I would experience being at uni. And it definitely has something to do with the fact that I'm alone. And again, not lonely, definitely not lonely. But I'm learning about this body doubling thing with ADHD, and just having someone around makes a huge difference. And so combined all of that with the vaping. So yesterday in my video, it was a mess. I understand this. I also understand not everyone's going to watch those videos or understand why I make and share those videos. Again, those of you who do understand, and that's really all that matters to me. And well, besides that, making them helps me. That's obviously the number one goal, right? But I very distinctly remember yesterday feeling okay about the fact that I'd slept in, because in my mind I was like, getting angry won't help me. It just won't help me. It doesn't give me the 2 hours back, right? So that was all well and good. I managed to get multiple loads of washing done, actually get quite a bit of my assignment done. And then I was having my coffee, as I do, and the addiction part of smoking kicked in. Any one of you out there who's a cigarette smoker or a vapor, and there are a difference between vapes with nicotine and vapes without nicotine. I just had that conversation with Grant then. The vapes that I've been using, the people who sell them got no idea. One person will say they've got no nicotine, the other person will say they do. I figured I should probably do my own research, so I went to the very main company online to check it all out, and it clearly states these vapes have six times more nicotine than cigarettes, which is so much worse if you ask me. But I'm the dummy because I bought them. Now, so basically what happened yesterday was I was doing good, feeling great, feeling really good with where I'm at, because I really am only doing one unit. This is the first time I've only ever enrolled in one unit. As we know, I have been in this situation a billion times, it feels like, since the 6 years I've been at uni. I'm fairly certain it probably won't be the last one, though it'd be really nice if it was, or was the last extreme way. But yeah, so as we know, I know all about how addiction cycles work. I quit ice by myself based on learning how it affected me. No detox or rehab or anything like that, right? I smoked ice. I knew I needed to stop. I knew I needed to help people, and that's what I did. So yesterday, when the little feeling kicked in of, I really want my vape, the next thing that kicked in was, don't do it. You know how the nicotine is affecting you. When I got the vape originally that Sunday, right? And I talked about it. I don't think I talked about it for about a few days or a week, though, because even I was feeling ashamed and bad and guilty. And, well, these videos keep me honest, let's face it, because I make them for me first and foremost. They're literally an online diary that I just share with all of you. So, yes, the little thing kicked in yesterday, and I had this eternal war in my mind about how I knew it was a really bad idea to smoke the vape. And then the experimenting scientist inside of me was like, let's just make sure we know that's right. Let's just smoke it and see what happens. Well, if you watched last night's video, you saw what happened. I immediately felt shit. Anxious, went straight to my head. It dropped my mood, my vibrations, everything. Nicotine is fucking bad for us, yeah? And because of the fact that I've been on again, off again for so long, and when I bought the vape I've got now, I was at 42 days since I'd had some. And before those 42 days started, I was at 90-something days. So it all just sort of came crashing down yesterday. Now, one of the things I've talked about a lot, and it's written all over my house, including on my computer, is to just keep reading. So I feel like this may be an ADHD thing. I still don't totally have my head around all that stuff, I'll be honest. But I really do struggle to get through the entire readings I read. And I've seen now that that's the case, and where I will have lost a number of grades throughout my uni career so far because I don't actually read the entire paper, and then I do exactly what is in the template for this assignment that it says not to. Don't use multiple papers and pick and choose the parts you use just to fill up words on a page. Fairly certain that's what I've been doing, right? I need to read all the way to the end, right? So again, I love to read. I have a bookshelf over there, so many books. Most of them I've read. Turns out when I'm reading school stuff compared to just leisure stuff, big difference, yeah? And so I thought probably number one thing I should do would be read all the way through the 12 pages of what the assignment involves. Now, it's got information for the one I'm currently doing, the second one that's going to be done on the personality profiles. Obviously, it lists all of the criteria that was in the surveys, which again need to be put into my assignment. And as I continue to read, or actually I was getting the computer to read to me, I kept vaping. And my anxiety kept rising and rising. And so I was like, okay, I need to walk away from my computer. I walked away. I do own a dryer, but I don't use it as often as possible when it's weather like it has been in Melbourne, which is confusing because it looks like it's sunny. It's usually freezing, rains off and on. I hang the sheets and the duvets over the doors in my house. Fantastic, very easy way to dry stuff, right? I have a clothes horse in my solarium room where I put my clothes. So the original time I walked away, hung the towels out, hung the sheets and the pillowcases out, put my actual washing on, came back to my computer, kept working. And I went through the templates. So I've downloaded the template, obviously. I have changed it so it's in my name, deleted all of the comments. Obviously, I printed it out first, so I have a paper version next to me. And I realized again yesterday that I needed to separate the original part into paragraphs. And that's when the overwhelm just got worse and worse, because I was like, okay, so I've written 465 words, now can I use them? And it was like my brain was crashing. It was just like it crashed and crashed and crashed to the point where I started crying. I'm one of those people, once I start crying and shit starts coming up, it's like the void, the blackness within me just brings every single fucking thing up to remind me of all the shit that I feel. That's the thing. I don't feel it unless I'm in those moments, but I guess it's there because I don't want it to be there and it needs to be let go of. But yes, so I went to try and hang my clothes on the horse. I couldn't even do that, right? I think I hung like one thing out and just crying hit me so bad that I was like almost doubled over, unable to breathe, going into like a panic crying episode. That is when I went to my room and hugged my teddy bear and took Valium. That is where I stayed. So I originally started, like, I was just crying and crying and crying. I don't know what other people are like, but like I said, it is usually like a volcano of tears coming out when I start, and it's something like this, because my insecurities around my grades and my ability to achieve stuff and where I'm at in life are just so, like, I'm a very insecure person when it comes to many things. I'm a very confident woman when it comes to many, many things, and not so much when it comes to stuff like this. And I've been doing the one thing I constantly talk about that we should not do, and that is in the right here and the fucking now, all I've got to do is work on this. I got to stop thinking about the future degrees. It's like I have no idea where I'll be in 6 months, let alone the end of next year, right? Who knows what could happen? I change my mind about stuff all the time. Just go back and start reading my blog. All the way on my blog. I mean, my website's been open since December 2020. Yeah, so there's a lot. But I just, so I started reading Reddit, and this is ironic, but I've done a lot of therapy in my life, right? Lots of therapy. And one of the things that I was taught in DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy, which was created by Marsha Lionham, because she has BPD and she was put in a padded cell and a straitjacket and realized that she needed to help people, and now people all over the world use her stuff. And one of the things that we were taught in group therapy was, and this is going to sound bad, I'm pretty sure of it, because I remember thinking that was bullshit at the time. I don't personally believe we should ever compare ourselves to the next person, right? But when you're in a state, for example, like I was yesterday, you're actually taught in therapy to compare yourself to the next person who has it worse. And again, I know how that sounds, but I spent about an hour, I reckon, on Reddit reading horrific stories, that were very real, that were breaking my heart, that were adding to the tears. But at this point, the tears were just for me and for them and for the world that we live in general, right? Because it's just so fucking sad. And I think that there's been so many things coming up for me lately that it's all just piling on together. So once I sort of got to a point where I was calmer, I got up and finished putting the washing out. I was no way I was coming back to my computer. I was just like, not even going to try, because it just would have got worse. So I did what I could, went and watered my plant. She looks amazing. She is getting so big that from where the light is to where the top of the plant is, not a lot of room. She hasn't started budding yet, but she is in the process, so that's something. Days like yesterday, honestly, even just watering my plant is more effort than I've got, but unfortunately, I have missed a few days here and there, and I can't let anything happen to her because she's amazing. And then I went back to my room, and I just kept reading, and I couldn't actually keep reading stuff about people that was heartbreaking because it wasn't helping me whatsoever by this point. I had just basically done a full circle. So I started reading the no sleep stories. If you don't follow Reddit, no sleep stories are like scary horror stories, but they're written as if they're real. So if you comment and you interact with the author, you're interacting with the character they're playing in their story, which makes it so cool. But when I first joined Reddit, it was so confusing because I was so lost about how this particular person had all these different things going on until I realized what the page was about. So in between all this time, I was talking to Faith as well, and she was amazing. And I said to her, I was like, you know, I really, really hope you understand why I had to get to know you all first before I could share, because I said to her, I've made a video. I said, it's intense. I will send it to you. I was like, but please don't watch it if you don't want to, like no pressure. Like I'm just sending it because I'm in a state where trying to explain where I was at wasn't really helping me. And by this point, Rachel had started messaging me too. I'm very, very much that person who does not say I'm fine when I'm not fine. My friends know this. So when Rachel messaged me, she sent me a bunch of pictures of what she'd been doing for the day and asked how I was going, and my reply was, I'm crying, been crying all day, can't stop crying, waiting for the Valium to kick in. Because again, at the point of finishing that video from last night, I went and took more Valium. I took 2 Valium actually. So yesterday I took 3 Valium in total, but it was needed. I did get my dinner delivered to me, and I'm grateful that I did. I think I watched like half an episode of Friends while eating my meal, and then turned it straight off, went back and read another couple of no sleep stories, and turned everything off and was in bed going to sleep before it even hit 8 p.m. So I had set my alarm for 7, though Grant had said he'd call me, but I just wanted to make sure. Excuse me. But I don't know. I'm feeling a lot better. I do feel like when I can talk about what my assignments are and what I'm learning, it makes so much more sense. So Grant and I, because he was doing stuff while we were talking, because that's just what we do. So I said to him, look, I'm going to explain to you, because he was obviously one of the people that filled out the surveys. And I said to him, I was like, I think a lot of the reason why I'm so panicked is because it's now Monday and I have class on Wednesday, and the results to the surveys are out. Now, they've already been listed in the cloud. We've already been, like, there's big notices saying results are out, they're available, blah, blah, blah. Feel free to check them out. There was something saying if you don't actually understand what you're looking at, that's okay. That's what's going to be explained in the seminars. But the thing that was sort of really drilled into us on our first seminar in week 1 was if we wait until the results come out, we're effectively working backwards, because I'll know the answers to the hypotheses before I've gotten there. And so Grant was asking me what my plans were for today. And originally I was like, once I'm off the phone with you, I'm going to shower. Then I'm going to watch the end of my seminar for week 3, because I'm halfway through it. And Rachel keeps saying that to me, have you watched the seminars? Have you watched the seminars? Have you watched the classes? And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm not there, but no, I haven't. I mean, I'm not totally behind, but no, I haven't. That's the answer. And then I was saying to Grant, like, this is the order I plan on doing it on. Finish that, go and get some groceries because I really need to, and then come back and keep working on my assignment. Now that I say that, that might not be so bad, because then I said to him, okay, based on what I've said about the classes on Wednesday and the results being out and the fact that I would really, really like at least the first original draft of my intro to be done by then, I was like, I will focus on that today and get as much as I possibly can done. And then that way tomorrow I can finish week 3 seminar and go through more of the weekly content. Like, I've been listening to my textbook in my, on the PDF reading out loud for some time. So I'm not behind on the textbook readings. So that's something. But I'm fairly certain I've explained before that we have like the weekly videos, and the weekly, like each week has videos and writing and questions, and then there's like little, I don't know, my brain's not working, I really need it to, tests, questions, to see where we're at, checking in on that, right? I've done week 1s, I've started week 2s, And it can and will be done. I can do it. I know I can do it. It's just, like I said to him, and like I say to Rachel and Faith, I'm like, the overwhelm kills me, because I'm by myself. And again, I think it's all something to do with this whole ADHD shit, but I don't know. I do know, though, that I've talked for 25 minutes and 20 seconds, so I better wrap this up, because I literally just explained why I have so much to do. But I am feeling a lot better about today. I have actually got pages of notes that I thought I couldn't use for I don't know what reason. I know that I spent some time learning about TikTok, and I'm no longer going to work with it just because I can't make my life any harder. But it also turns out that I have a number of pages of notes that I can use, and that will start to pull my intro together, because it's a 2,000 word paper. There are multiple different things that aren't included in the word count, but I mean, it's been said on the template, the intro should be about 1/3 of the paper. So I actually am doing a lot better than I ever give myself credit for. Rory, good morning. I'm pretty sure I've seen a message come through for you. I think it's email, I don't know. I don't check the emails all the time, I'm going to be honest with everyone. Better to just keep commenting on my videos, probably. But yeah, I mean, you can email me if you want, maybe just let me know. Who am I kidding? I think no, yeah, it is an email. Good morning, Rory. It's an email. I've seen it. I'm going to love you and leave you all and get on with my day. Happy Monday.